The warning sirens aboard Earth's most advanced defense platform, Station Zero, blared through every corridor. Commander Jackson Pierce sprinted to the command center, his heart pounding against his chest. In 20 years of defending Earth's outer borders, he had never seen the AI defense system trigger a Level 1 alert. "Status report," he barked, stepping onto the command deck where his crew worked frantically at their stations. Lieutenant Olivia Nash, head of detection systems, looked up from her console with wide eyes. "Sir, we've detected an unknown vessel approaching from the Kuiper Belt. It appeared out of nowhere. No warp signature, no quantum trail, nothing." Pierce leaned over her station, studying the readings. The vessel appeared as a strange blur on their most advanced scanning systems, moving at speeds that defied physics. "How fast?" "That's the thing, sir," Tech Officer Raj Patel cut in, his fingers flying over his holographic interface. "It's moving at approximately 0.15 light speed within normal space. That's impossible. Nothing can maneuver at those speeds without tearing itself apart." The command center's main screen showed their target, a sleek obsidian vessel about the size of a destroyer, but with a design unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. Its hull seemed to drink in light, making it look like a ship-shaped hole in space. "Run it against the database," Pierce ordered. "I want to know who built this thing." "Already tried, sir," Nash responded, shaking her head. "No matches, no ID signature, no recognition patterns, nothing in any human or alien database. It's like this ship doesn't exist." Pierce felt a chill run down his spine. In 2157, after the Proxima War, the Galactic Council had mandated that all ships must carry identification markers. Even the notorious pirates and smugglers couldn't operate without leaving some trace of their origins. "Sir," Patel's voice cracked with urgency, "the vessel has changed course. It's heading straight for Earth's defense line, and it's accelerating." Pierce straightened, his military training kicking in. "Launch interceptors, all of them. Contact the Lunar Defense Fleet. Whatever this thing is, we can't let it reach Earth." Within minutes, 50 of humanity's fastest ships streaked across space, their engines pushing to maximum thrust. The mysterious vessel's speed should have made it impossible to maneuver, and yet it moved with impossible precision, weaving between asteroid fields as if they were standing still. "Interceptors in position," Combat Director Hannah Chen reported. "Forming a barrier grid. If this thing wants to reach Earth, it'll have to go through our net." Pierce watched as the tactical display showed their forces creating a perfect defensive formation. It was textbook strategy. No ship should have been able to penetrate it. The unknown vessel proved them wrong. It didn't slow down. It didn't try to evade. Instead, it somehow shifted. There was no other word for it. One moment it was approaching their defense line, the next it was simply past it, leaving their fastest ships looking like they were standing still. "Impossible," Chen whispered. "Sir, it just ignored our entire defense grid. The speed, we can't even track it properly anymore." Pierce slammed his fist on the console. "Get me Earth Command, now. And where the hell is that ship heading?" "Sir." Nash's voice trembled slightly. "Based on its trajectory, it's heading straight for Moscow. At current speed, impact in less than 3 minutes." The command center fell silent. Even with their most advanced weapons, they couldn't stop something moving that fast. If it was an attack, Earth's largest city would be vaporized before they could even attempt a defense. But then something strange happened. The vessel began broadcasting something. Not a message, not a signal, but a pattern of energy that seemed to resonate with every piece of technology around it. "Sir," Patel called out, his eyes fixed on his readings. "The pattern, it's changing our defense systems, not attacking them, upgrading them. I've never seen anything like this." The mysterious ship continued its approach toward Earth, unstoppable and untouchable, carrying with it either humanity's doom or something far more profound. As Pierce watched the vessel streak across space, he realized they weren't dealing with an enemy attack. They were witnessing something far more significant, a revelation that would change humanity's understanding of their place in the universe forever. As the ship approached Moscow, it finally slowed, coming to a perfect stop above the city. No deceleration, no burning engines. It simply ceased its impossible movement, as if the laws of physics were mere suggestions. "Sir," Nash said quietly, "it's sending a message, text only, in every human language simultaneously." Pierce took a deep breath. "Put it on screen." The words appeared, simple yet earth-shattering. "The children of Earth have finally created technology advanced enough to detect us. The trial of ascension begins now." The United Earth Council chamber had never been this tense. Representatives from every major nation sat in stunned silence as they watched the holographic replay of the mysterious vessel's arrival. Commander Pierce stood before them, his uniform still wrinkled from the 20-hour crisis session. "As you can see," he continued, gesturing to the projection, "conventional physics simply doesn't apply to this vessel. Our fastest ships, capable of Mach 30 in atmosphere, might as well have been standing still." Dr. Nadia Volkov, Russia's leading quantum physicist, leaned forward in her seat. The dark circles under her eyes betrayed countless hours analyzing data from the ship's arrival over Moscow. "The energy readings are unlike anything we've ever encountered. It's not just advanced technology. It's as if this vessel operates on principles we haven't even theorized yet." The chamber's massive screens displayed real-time footage of the ship, still hovering motionless above Moscow. Its obsidian surface, occasionally rippled like liquid metal, defying all attempts at scanning or analysis. World Council President Diana Martinez rose from her seat, her voice cutting through the murmurs. "We've received another message from the vessel. Dr. Volkov, if you would." The physicist tapped her tablet and new text appeared on the screens. "Humanity stands at a crossroads. Accept the trial of ascension and risk everything you are. Refuse and remain as you are, bound by the limits of your current understanding. You have 24 hours to decide. Choose wisely." General Zhang Wei of the Asian Alliance Defense Force slammed his fist on the table. "This is clearly a threat. We should launch everything we have at it. Nuclear, antimatter charges, everything. And how exactly do you propose to hit something we can't even track?" Pierce countered, his voice sharp. "This thing moved past our entire defense grid like we're frozen in time. A nuclear strike would be pointless, assuming we could even get close enough to try." Tech officer Raj Patel, who had been quietly analyzing data in the corner, suddenly straightened. "Sir, you need to see this." He projected a new set of readings onto the main screen. "The ship's energy signature, it's changing. Not just the ship, it's affecting our technology. The quantum upgrades it implemented in our defense systems are spreading." Dr. Volkov rushed to examine the data, her eyes widening. "This is incredible. The changes, they're not random. It's like the ship is gradually teaching our technology how to evolve. But the patterns, they're familiar somehow." "Familiar how?" President Martinez demanded. "They match fragments of code we've found in ancient ruins across Earth. Those symbols archaeologists could never decode? They're identical to these energy patterns. This ship, it's been here before. Long ago." The chamber erupted in chaos as implications sank in. Humanity's history, their very understanding of their origins, was being challenged. Professor James Chen, head of xenoarchaeology at Oxford, stepped forward. "There's more. We've been analyzing artifacts found beneath the Gobi Desert last year. They contain warnings about something called the Great Trial. Ancient civilizations across the globe recorded the same event, a test that would determine humanity's readiness to join something greater." Pierce felt a chill run down his spine as he remembered the ship's impossible movements. "What if this isn't first contact?" he said quietly, but his words carried across the suddenly silent chamber. "What if it's a reunion?" Before anyone could respond, every screen in the chamber flickered. The mysterious ship was broadcasting again, but this time it showed images, glimpses of civilizations on distant worlds, species that had faced their own trials. Some had succeeded, evolving beyond their physical forms. Others had failed, remaining trapped by their limitations. President Martinez stood again, her face grave. We need to vote. The future of our species hangs in the balance. Do we accept this trial, knowing it could change everything we are? Or do we refuse, accepting our current limitations? Dr. Volkov's tablet suddenly lit up with new data. The ship, it's showing us something else. These energy patterns it's embedding in our technology, they're not just upgrades, they're keys. Keys to understanding how it moves, how it defies physics. It's already started the trial. It's teaching us whether we accept or not. Then we don't really have a choice, do we? Pierce said, stepping forward. That ship isn't just too fast to stop, it's too advanced to ignore. Every second it hovers above our planet, it's changing us. The real question isn't whether we accept the trial. The question is, are we ready for what we might become? The chamber fell silent again as the implications sank in. Above Moscow, the mysterious vessel continued its vigil, its surface shifting like dark mercury, waiting for humanity's answer. But in truth, the trial of ascension had already begun. With every passing moment, the impossible ship was reshaping humanity's destiny, leading them toward an evolution they could barely comprehend. The choice before them wasn't really a choice at all. It was an invitation to become something more than they had ever imagined possible. And as the council prepared to vote, the ship's surface rippled once more, reflecting not just light, but the potential future of an entire species standing on the brink of transformation. The first signs of the change swept across Earth like a silent storm. In hospitals worldwide, doctors reported patients exhibiting impossible readings, brain activity that exceeded known human limits, cellular regeneration that defied medical science. The dormant DNA sequences were awakening, and humanity was remembering. Commander Pierce stood in Station Zero's command center, watching as golden light coursed through his veins. Around him, his crew experienced the same transformation. Lieutenant Nash hovered inches above the ground, her consciousness now able to manipulate gravitational fields. Tech Officer Patel's eyes glowed as he processed data streams directly from the station's computers, his mind interfacing with technology in ways that should have been impossible. "Sir," Nash called out, her voice carrying an otherworldly resonance. "The ships, they're moving again." The fleet of obsidian vessels had begun a complex dance around the solar system, their movements creating patterns that seemed to alter the fabric of space-time itself. With their awakening consciousness, the crew could now see what they couldn't before. The ships weren't moving through space. They were bending it, creating shortcuts through dimensions that human science had barely theorized. "New contact," Patel announced, his consciousness merged with the station's sensors. "Massive energy signature approaching from everywhere." The void between planets lit up as thousands of new vessels emerged, but these weren't like the mysterious black ships. These were predatory, their hulls bristling with weapons that could shatter worlds. The harvesters had arrived, drawn by humanity's awakening. Dr. Volkov's voice crackled through the quantum comm, broadcasting from the Antarctic facility. "The walls are showing us more. The harvesters, they're the reason we chose to forget. They hunt awakening species, stealing their potential, feeding off their ascension energy." Pierce felt ancient memories stirring in his transformed consciousness. "Not this time," he growled, his voice carrying the weight of countless generations. "We didn't hide our power just to lose it again." The first harvester ships opened fire, their weapons capable of destroying entire continents. But humanity was no longer the same species they had been days ago. The energy field created by the black ships had done more than wake up dormant DNA. It had restored what humanity had willingly locked away eons ago. Across Earth, millions of humans instinctively accessed abilities that had slumbered in their genes. Children in Beijing created shields of pure energy that deflected the harvesters' attacks. Farmers in Kansas reached out with their minds and disabled entire squadrons of enemy ships. The population of Mumbai collectively accessed the quantum field, teleporting their entire city out of harm's way microseconds before a devastating blast. In the Antarctic facility, Dr. Volkov interfaced directly with the ancient technology. "The black ships, they're not just our heritage, they're our templates. Every human has the potential to create them, to become them." She was right. Around the planet, Awakened humans began transforming matter itself, their bodies remembering how to generate the same material as the mysterious ships. Ordinary people stepped into newly created vessels of liquid darkness, ships born from their own consciousness and powered by their reawakened abilities. Pierce watched in awe as hundreds, then thousands of new black ships rose from Earth's surface. Each one moved with the same impossible speed as the original, each one piloted by humans, who now remembered how to dance between moments of time. "All ships connect to the quantum network," he ordered, his consciousness broadcasting across the solar system. "The harvesters want to feed on our ascension? Let's show them why our ancestors were feared across galaxies." The battle that followed defied description. Human-piloted vessels phased through harvester attacks, their crews manipulating probability itself to ensure every shot missed. Others appeared simultaneously at multiple points in space, existing in several moments at once as they outmaneuvered the enemy's most sophisticated tactics. But the harvesters were ancient and powerful themselves. They began adapting, using weapons that could unravel reality itself. The space around Earth became a storm of impossible energies as two mighty forces clashed, one fighting to steal humanity's rebirth, the other defending their right to remember who they truly were. Lieutenant Nash's voice cut through the chaos. "Commander, the original ships, they're moving into formation." The mysterious vessels that had triggered humanity's awakening arranged themselves in a perfect geometric pattern around the solar system. Energy began to flow between them, creating a lattice of power that connected every awakened human mind. Through this network, Pierce felt the presence of billions of his fellow humans, all of them remembering, all of them transforming. But more than that, he felt something else. The attention of other awakened species across the galaxy, watching, waiting to see if humanity would triumph where others had failed. In the Antarctic facility, the ancient walls blazed with light as they revealed the final truth. This wasn't just humanity's trial. This was the moment that would determine whether life itself could evolve beyond the harvester's endless hunger. As Pierce commanded his impossible ship, moving faster than physics should allow, he realized that the vessel they couldn't stop had never been their enemy. It had been a key, unlocking the cage humanity had built to protect themselves, waiting for the moment when they would be ready to face their true adversaries. The final battle for humanity's awakening had begun, and its outcome would reshape not just Earth, but the very nature of existence itself. The solar system had become a battlefield. Unlike any in human history, the Harvester fleet darkened the space between planets, their reality-shredding weapons tearing holes in the fabric of space-time. Facing them, humanity's newly awakened forces moved with impossible grace, their obsidian ships phasing through attacks while existing in multiple moments simultaneously. Commander Pierce, his consciousness now fully merged with his vessel, led Earth's defense from the front lines. His ship, a manifestation of his own transformed being, moved with the same unstoppable speed as the mysterious vessel that had started it all. Around him, billions of awakened humans wielded powers that their ancestors had hidden away eons ago. "They're targeting the quantum lattice." Dr. Volkov's voice resonated through the collective consciousness that now connected all of humanity. From her position in the Antarctic facility, she could see the Harvester's true strategy. "If they break the energy pattern, they'll trap us in normal space-time." "Not going to happen," Pierce responded, his thoughts instantly reaching every human defender. "Lieutenant Nash, coordinate with the Asian Defense Grid. Officer Patel, link with European consciousness clusters. We need to reinforce the lattice." The original mysterious ships, now revealed as ancient human vessels left behind as guides, maintained their geometric formation around the solar system. Through their network, humanity could feel the attention of countless awakened species across the galaxy, all of them watching this crucial moment in evolution's grand story. The Harvesters launched their masterstroke, a cascade of temporal weapons designed to lock Earth's solar system in a bubble of frozen time. But humanity had been preparing for this moment for millennia. Their dormant DNA hadn't just contained power, it had contained memory, strategy, and purpose. Dr. Volkov's voice carried new urgency. "The facility's showing us the final sequence. Pierce, Humanity didn't just hide from the harvesters. We were chosen. We volunteered to be the ones who would finally end their reign. As if triggered by her words, the ancient Antarctic complex fired a beam of pure energy into space. Similar installations hidden beneath the ice of Europa, within Mercury's core, and in the clouds of Jupiter, activated simultaneously. The solar system itself had been prepared as humanity's ultimate weapon. Pierce understood now. The ship they couldn't stop hadn't just been a test. It had been the first key in activating a plan laid down by their ancestors. Every impossible maneuver it had demonstrated was a lesson, teaching humanity how to move beyond the constraints of physical reality. The harvesters sensed the trap too late. The energy beams connected with the geometric pattern created by the original ships, and the entire solar system began to vibrate at a quantum level. Every human felt it, a resonance that reached beyond physical form, beyond the barriers of space and time. "Everyone focus," Pierce commanded. "Remember who we are. Remember what we can become." Billions of awakened minds united in a single purpose. The ships of liquid darkness moved in perfect synchronization, their patterns matching the very structure of reality itself. The harvesters' weapons found themselves firing into empty space, as humanity's vessels existed everywhere and nowhere, moving with a speed that made their original mysterious visitor seem slow in comparison. Dr. Volkov's consciousness expanded through the network, sharing the final revelation from the ancient facility. "We're not just fighting them, we're freeing them. The harvesters. They're trapped in their own evolution, locked in an endless cycle of consumption. We're the key to their transformation too." Understanding flooded through the human collective. Their ancestors hadn't hidden their power out of fear. They had hidden it to prepare for this moment, when humanity would be ready to not just fight the harvesters, but to help them transcend their own limitations. Pierce led the final movement. Every human ship, every awakened mind, every particle of transformed consciousness focused their energy through the solar system's geometric pattern. The original mysterious ships pulsed with power, amplifying humanity's collective will. Parlous itself seemed to hold its breath. Then, in a moment that rippled across the galaxy, everything changed. The harvesters' forms began to shift, their predatory vessels transforming as humanity's unleashed power forced them to confront their own potential for evolution. The weapons of destruction became tools of transformation. The solar system blazed, with light visible across thousands of light years, a beacon announcing that the ancient cycle of predator and prey had finally been broken. Humanity had done what no other species could. They had turned their trial of ascension into an opportunity for universal transformation. As the light faded, the harvesters emerged, changed, their consciousness, freed from the endless hunger that had driven them for millions of years, joined with humanity's in a new kind of existence. The barriers between species, between matter and energy, between past and future, dissolved. Pierce stood on the observation deck of his ship, his form now a fluid mixture of physical and energy states. Around him, Earth's population explored their fully awakened potential. The mysterious ship that had started it all, the vessel too, fast to stop, floated nearby, its purpose finally fulfilled. Dr. Volkov's consciousness merged with the group. "The facility's showing us star maps," she announced. "Coordinates to other sleeping species, other worlds waiting for their moment of awakening. We're not done yet." Pierce smiled, feeling the collective excitement of humanity. They had transformed from a planetary species into universal awakeners, guides for others who would face their own trials. The ship they couldn't stop had led them to become unstoppable themselves. "Well then," he broadcast to the unified consciousness of Earth, "shall we introduce ourselves to the neighborhood?" As one, humanity's fleet of impossible ships prepared to depart. They would move faster than physics allowed, exist beyond normal space-time, and carry the promise of evolution to the far corners of the galaxy. The mysterious vessel that had appeared above Earth now had plenty of company, an entire civilization, ready to help others remember who they truly were. The trial of ascension was complete. But humanity's true journey was just beginning. Among the stars, countless species waited for their own awakening, and Earth's children were finally ready to help light the way.